Today officially marks Iwata's birthday, and I will admit, I was bummed out and I was very sad when he died. We all were. We all were sad when he died. Everyone paid tribute to him, everyone else, you name it. Him and Reggie Fils-Aimé were a good couple, the iconic CEOs of Nintendo. What I remember about Iwata was when he announced a new Super Luigi U and he did the Year of Luigi and helped out Sakurai with Smash. Back in the day, that was the golden age. And he was still a very, very, very awesome president back then. He even announced Mario Maker as well. Now it leads us today. Yep. Everything was normal. On the bright side, I am just glad Zelda's anniversary is getting the same treatment and everything else. Nowadays, everything is just moving on. But of course, the one frustrating thing of all is, of course, the online expansion pack. Now, before I even talk about the Iwata quote or anything else, and before anything of this takes up the entire video, let's talk about this one thing that I'm sure none of you have ever heard of. Now, ask yourself a stupid question. Has Iwata ever gotten hate, just like Doug Bowser and the other CEOs, which I still have trust in them? And I'm gonna read your mind right now. That is so stupid. Not even a single person would ever hate Iwata. So you don't believe me? Well, I'm gonna take you a trip back to the past 6 years ago, and we'll see how that all went. I'm not making this up, no matter how hard I try. Nowadays, 6 years ago, people were hating Iwata. And when he died, a lot of fans were legit happy when he died. Newest comments even admit it. You are disgusting. Hasn't age consider Iwata plans to the Switch? You suck. Well, this aged poorly. Well, you got your wish. Are you beeping happy now? Take the Save Nintendo Fire Iwata video for example. But thankfully, there were a bunch of respectful fanboys out there. Even one out there said, in quote, "Wanting someone to be fired does not mean you want them dead." Hopefully people understand that. Understand. That is the key issue. People need to understand Iwata. And during that time, it was very successful. Ironically and thankfully, we had some respectful fans with us. Thankfully. That is the real reason why I hate PlayStation. Back in the day, everything, like nowadays, back in that day, let me tell you, everyone was very serious and wasn't joking around when they've seen people disrespect Iwata's death. And that's to tell you something. That's for understanding, and that's why people make these videos, to stop the disrespect. I'm just glad that things are still going on for this video. So, 6 years ago, there were a lot of respectful Nintendo fans that respected Iwata and paid tribute to his death. Nowadays, not so many anymore. Guilt trippers, toxic fanboys, Nintendon't fans, you name it. The only ones left are the ones using him and his death as an excuse against the online membership and Nintendo in a disgusting and disturbing way that's humiliating a lot of innocent people online. Worst of all, there's not enough good people left out there to tell them to knock it off. However, there are honest fans out there that are absolutely sick of hearing people using Iwata's quotes and his death. And especially some people out there that are sick of hearing Free Melee. I made this hashtag not just to defend Nintendo themselves, but to spread out the message that people need to stop using Iwata and his death as an excuse against it all. Thankfully, all of my YouTube friends and partners got the message, and nowadays, we're just doing our absolute hardest and best to tell people to knock it off and just tell them to just move on. Don't just pretend Iwata and Reggie were everything. I'm sorry. Don't just pretend everything was pretty and beautiful back when Iwata and Reggie were still alive. Like, they were alive during the DMCA strikes and everything else. And he was alive during the Switch development as well. Now, about the article, with him mentioning the online pay. Yes, he did actually said that. But this was all back in 2003. Long before the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation had paid online membership. A theory of mine, I'm assuming someone or something from the gaming industry might have told Iwata about the paid online while the Wii U was failing. But like I said, that's just a theory of mine. So when Iwata was alive during that time, he mentioned the Nintendo NX, which was actually the Nintendo Switch during that time. He even said the NX will surprise and delight. So the Switch is not just a portable and TV home console. It is a tribute for Iwata. He would be very proud of Nintendo's success in 2022. Alright, I know some people will disagree with me on this, but I personally will respect and enjoy the new CEO. I can't pronounce his name, unfortunately, but yeah. And yeah, you heard me. Iwata had some hate in the past, so I'm assuming this man will have the same treatment and then he'll be loved as well. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you will admit, Sakurai, I can't pronounce his name, once again, sorry, I just can't. I looked up him on Google and I don't see him doing anything bad whatsoever. Plus, he already knows what he's doing. Also, he's like the only, president we've got. We need to give him some respect as well, along with Doug Bowser. Yes, I did make a video called In Defense of Doug Bowser. You can check that out if you want to. Also, thankfully, he said the Switch is here to stay and there's no next-gen consoles whatsoever. And you know what? I'll agree with him. I don't want to see a next-gen Nintendo console. I mean, the Switch is like a tribute to Iwata anyway, and that's pretty good. As for a bonus, some doofus said, in quote, Nintendo should go bankrupt, and he said that 24 days ago. But however, there was someone down out here that did say a good point, and here's what Damn Mistake had to say about it.
Those are some pretty weak points. Yeah, the Nintendo online servers are pretty horrible, but I don't see why you brought Smash Bros to that example. I've never had a problem with Smash Ultimate Online, and Smash 4 single quote S Online is the best online Nintendo has ever had. The less said about Brawls Online, the better. I'm sure the Etika-themed controllers was just a coincidence. Even if Nintendo chose to stop making the due to his death, they didn't disrespect him. Nintendo appreciated Etika as part of their community, especially since he got 9 Smash fans to enjoy Smash Bros, like myself. On another note, no one really buys Nintendo consoles for the online games. I know I didn't buy my Wii, 3DS, Wii U and Switch for online, and I know a lot of people who didn't either. Nintendo have made and still make phenomenal games from time to time, even if they're single player. And I know Nintendo is stingy with their copyright policies, but you should see how far they've come by just looking back at like 2014. Besides, so many fan games are still up anyway. Also, no company deserves to go bankrupt, especially when they've done nothing wrong.
Those are some truthful facts right there. The issue is, Nintendo fans need to rethink the past properly and see more information properly, rather than just making up shitposts or lazy excuses. So that's the thing. And now, I'm just telling you this all the truth. What I'm saying is, a lot of honest people are absolutely sick of hearing the whole free melee drama, everything, Ikata, you named it. In the past, I've done two things no other Nintendo fanboys would ever do. I legit told Joy-Con boys my entire story, and surprisingly, they responded to me. Also, I wrote a letter. I legit wrote a letter telling Nintendo about the backlash, and that's how they responded to me as well. Sure, Nintendo does have some struggles, and they could be a pain in the ass sometimes, but you have to admit, they are still a company. I mean, at least they're not Activision or EA. So yeah. So many people still love Nintendo and Iwata to this day. And sure, they have some cheesy stuff in the past, but it's best off if we just move on from all that drama. I wrote that hashtag not to protect Nintendo, but also to tell everyone that using Iwata and his quotes and his death isn't going to make things any better, and it needs to stop. Sure, the new president may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I do have some high hopes for him. Nintendo already has a bright future in 2022, and during that time, we just hope everyone can finally stop bringing up the hate and move on from all the drama. And if Iwata was still around, he would be very proud of Nintendo's success. So many people still have hearts for Nintendo and Iwata, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to make sure everything still stays normal without bringing up the past anymore. Hopefully this video will get more views and understands the message. All we want is to move on from all that drama, and that's about it.
On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer.